One thing I've learned in my life, there's a point where you need to push yourself and be disciplined. And then there's a point where you need to know when to take a break and recover. And that's the thing that is missed with a lot of these motivational videos that I would watch. I used to watch David Goggins, always talk about pushing hard, don't be a pussy. Always give it your best. I really do feel like at some point there is a limit where if you just push yourself beyond that, as much as I've tried to deny that, there's just a point where you can't push anymore before you take a break. It doesn't mean you have to stop forever, but it means you need to temporarily retreat so that you can come back a stronger, more capable, hardworking version of yourself. Even the most grueling training plans have days off, weeks off, deload weeks, periods where you recover and adapt, right? Instead of valuing hard work, value output. At the end of the day, I don't really care about how hard I work. I care about how much I'm able to accomplish and achieve. And so if you're gonna tell me that working less is gonna help me achieve more in the long run, then I'm all for it. You know, at the end of the day, you can't be attached to one single thing. Maybe some people like Elon Musk are able to work 100-hour work weeks consistently. I'm not sure if that's like the most efficient way. Look at these ducks over here. They think I'm gonna feed them something. Funny. I got nothing for you guys. Sorry. At the end of the day, you gotta work within what your limits are, and you have to understand what your limits are and operate to the best of your potential and stop comparing yourself to other people who are, you know, way further ahead than you, maybe working harder than you. Yes, there are people that are outworking you. They have different circumstances than you have. They have different brains than you have. Maybe they're neurotypical and you have ADHD, maybe whatever. And you can call these all coping mechanisms and excuses, but I've lived enough life at this point to know that that's just not the case. I'm confident in my discipline. I'm confident in my work ethic to know that I have limits, and pushing past those limits, no matter how hard I try to pretend that those limits don't exist, at the end of the day, it just does more harm than good. And I've learned over the years that, like, there's a time to push, but then there's also a time to rest and recover. And so the moral of this video is work hard, push hard, but recover harder. Always take recovery just as seriously as you take work ethic and discipline.